Hey all. So you're normally seeing me posting things about Echo Rex, but as you all may or may not know, I'm out of that business and decided to work on electronics on my own for fun. And I am an amateur radio operator. Been off the air for a while, and I thought I would rekindle that. So I went out and I wanted to buy something that I could work on to put on the air. And so here we are. I picked up this Heathkit SB-100 off of eBay as a parts rig. The only disappointment I had with the seller is that the picture in the ad did not exactly reflect the condition of this front panel. As you can see, it's pretty awful, but it's usable. So a couple of things. If you're going to do this and you're going to buy an old Heathkit, one of the things to remember is that amateur radio operators are notorious tinkerers, and so the chances are if you pick up one of these rigs to put back on the air, you may find there's some mods there. Shout out to N5OLA, who does a lot of restorations. I watched several of his videos before I decided to take this plunge. So anyway, where are we with this right now? Well, front panel aside, the first thing was the oscillator mode switch, which is directly to the right of the Heathkit label, was jammed. And so I could not get it free. I took it out. It was just shot. So I adapted another switch to perform its function. Honestly, it's never going to come off the LMO, which stands for Linear Master Oscillator. It's never going to come off that switch because I'm never going to run a crystal or a VFO off of this thing. At least I don't think I am. But anyway, I did have some 4-pull, 3-throw switches laying around, and I was able to scab that in. Well, not scab it, it's installed nicely, but I was able to make that work. So one of the first things you want to do when you get into this is clean the switches. The switches are awful. These were absolutely black. I got lucky here in that these belts were serviceable, as was that. But anyway, getting back to the switches, they are awful. These were black. I cleaned them probably 4 or 5 times before I finally got them to work reliably. Then going forward with this, a couple things. One, you can see some blue resistors in there. Heathkits are nice because of the way they're laid out and so forth. You can pretty much test all of these resistors in circuit and find out whether or not they're passable. And as you can see, quite a number of them were not, especially the ones over here on this audio output board. And you'll see that's not a stock transformer. More on that later. But anyway, so that was all done. And then these circuit boards were a mess. I had some solvents that I use, safe solvents that I use with my ultrasonic cleaner. My original plan was to take the boards out and do them individually, but upon looking at the wiring harnesses and everything underneath, I could see that was fraught with peril, so I didn't bother with that. I just did the N5OLA thing, tossed it in the sink, and used the some brushes in my cleaner, and you can see these circuit boards are really, really nice. Including, okay, and back in there. Now the couple things back in here, there's some arc damage on the final right there. So we're going to find out what that's all about. The first order of business, though, is get the receiver working. So a couple things have changed. I changed the electrolytic capacitors, had a in this area right here, did put a radial in, didn't have one in the bin, so I have an axial one there. I'll do something nicer later. You'll also notice that output transformer is not stock. It was shorted, so I had to replace it. It was shorting to ground. For now, what I have in there, it seems to work really well, is a Fender reverb driver transformer. It has an 8 ohm output, so there you go. It's in there and it seems to be working just fine. So that was cool. And I'm at the point right now, a couple other things I've changed. One, the carrier null pot was very sketchy, so I replaced that with a 10-turn pot as recommended. And then there's a meter 0 pot down in there, which was also not good, so I replaced that. So what's left to do right now on the rig is an alignment. I have ALC problem because my front panel meter is pegging negative, and I have to figure out why that is. But at any rate, if you're going to go and jump in on this, there's a lot of work, and there's some mystery here as well because Heathkits, notoriously are modifiable, and hams are not shy about that. So there's a couple other mods in here that I think are not stock. I need to find out what they are and get rid of them. But as of right now, things seem to be going well. The rig behaves as required. When you turn it on, you get the meter peg, and it eventually works its way down as the rig warms up, and that's doing all the right things right there as we want. And after a while, it takes a long time for it to warm up, but you do get some noise out of the speaker, which is good. The pre-selector seems to work just fine, although with it all the way over there, it's telling me this rig needs aligned. All the modes do seem to work, so that's good. Now the problem is if I turn the RF gain up all the way, you see that meter peg's negative. That should not be happening, so we got to figure that one out. And the meter 0 pot has no effect on that, so I've got a problem or a leaky tube or a diode someplace, so I'll have to figure that out. But other than that, it's been a lot of fun. I do have the matching speaker power supply with it. I had to rebuild that ground up, so luckily the transformer and all the diodes and that were fine, so I was able to get that done. So that's where it's at right now. Hopefully I'll get it on the air. The bands are kind of dead right now. It's early morning, so I can't show you, but the receiver does definitely work. Tries to receive, it needs an alignment. But again, most important thing if you're going to do this, man, learn my lesson and clean those switches 5 times, because that seems to be the Achilles heel. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. I'll keep you posted on what's going on. It's been a fun project so far. I have a lot more money in it so far than I wanted to in the first place, but hey, it's a lot of fun. Probably could have bought a working Kenwood or Yaesu off the eBay and been on the air already, but this is kind of organic. And just real quick, I fell in love with these rigs. I got my novice ticket in the 70s, and I fell in love with these rigs on field days because the guys would bring them in, and I just thought they were awesome back then. So I thought, what the heck, let's see if we can get one on the air. So future work, if I get everything going to make this pretty again, I'm going to find some kind of way to make this front panel. Either going to design and put an overlay on it or something, but right now it's a mess. All right, hope you enjoyed. I tried not to blah, blah, blah too much. Anyway, 73.